Joe Biden's government have been accused of organising an anti-Brexit plot during their visits to Belfast and Dublin. Oh, surprise, surprise. Okay, so we've already actually discussed a few days ago when Joe Biden was going around in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland and the rest of the world talking nonsense. There were a lot of gaffes during that visit, but there was also a lot of obvious bias from the parts of the president, considering he claims to be basically impartial. He wants to be on the side of the UK and the Republic of Ireland. We know that was nonsense because of what he did. He went around saying, I'm Irish, I love the Republic. That aside, he's now been accused of something else. Basically, beyond that, one of his right-hand women, Amanda Sloat on the right, has a bit of a dodgy background when it comes to her opinions, her political opinions, and what she's done in terms of Brexit and Britain. Basically, these people hate Britain, and we know they hate Britain. Now, this is Amanda and Joseph during their visits to both Northern Ireland and the Republic. Obviously, she's wearing green to pander to the Irish side, saying, hey, look at us, we're all so friendly. And then they go around, hang out with the British side, like they just shake hands, saying, yep, we're special relationship between the US and the UK. You don't care about any of that. And we've been seeing it over the last few days. And it's not really a surprise, this update, that he hates Britain and he prefers to take the sides of the globalists at the European Union. But this one is a bit more dodgy because it's more detail. And the accusation is because Amanda Sloat, who's a special assistant to the president and also senior director for Europe in the National Security Council, she's a classic puppet of the globalists who has in the past and quite recently expressed her views very clearly against Britain and Brexit. And they want us to believe that they sent Amanda there with Joseph to go out there and say, yeah, we want to listen to both sides. Really? Are you kidding me? You had all these meetings with the officials in the Republic of Ireland and you think that we don't know what you are potentially plotting or talking about. You are going to take their side over our side every single time. For example, Amanda Sloat said, many are angry over the perceived failure of the English to take into account the peace dividend brought by EU membership. So she's giving credit to the EU when it comes to the peace process and the agreement between the two sides. She said the general consensus is also that Scotland will leave the UK. So I don't understand why she brought Scotland into this, but that is not the general consensus, by the way, right now. As things stand, the vast majority of Scots are against independence or separation. And the vast majority are also against the SNP. How many times do we have to repeat the same line? Because the narrative from the mainstream side is that because there's a loud minority of the SNP activists going out there saying we hate the English and we want separation, that just represents the whole of the viewpoint in Scotland. It doesn't. The silent majority in Scotland, you can see the results of every single opinion poll, vote or referendum, is the opposite. Now, things might change in the future. Obviously, generations grow, and they might have a future generation that is more pro-separations, and that's what's going to happen. It's democracy. If Scotland leaves, it leaves. Get on with your life. But right now, that is an absolute lie, the way things stand. Anyway, Amanda Sloat also tweeted, August 1969 is viewed as when Northern Ireland troubles began. In earnest, 50 years later, there are three interlinked tests that will shape the future. Brexit, debate over referendum on United Ireland, and efforts to reconstitute the Northern Ireland Assembly. So that you brought Brexit into this again, as usual, because that is the bias of these people. Amanda Sloat is the same person who actually wrote an article herself against Brexit in the Brookings, saying, Brexit, is it worth it? She used that as a banner, saying, divided kingdom, how Brexit is remaking the UK's constitutional order. Ooh, the shock of the United Kingdom's the 2016 referendum result. We know exactly what your viewpoint is. And then you want us to believe that the American government and the White House sent you, of all people, to that visit to pretend to be impartial. You're promoting the special relationship between Britain and America, at the same time trying to fix the problems between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's none of your business. Get out of it. You're not supposed to be the world police anymore. The arrogance of the American establishment is astonishing. Anyway, we had David Jones, a Tory MP and senior member of the European Research Group, ERG, has accused Amanda Sloat of appearing to want to break up the UK altogether. David Jones said, while President Biden's fondness for the land of his ancestors is well known and understandable, it is extraordinary to discover that the advisor he describes as his saving grace on foreign policy appears to want to break up the UK altogether. This would probably account for many of the surprising remarks the president has made during his visit. Now, David Jones warned that Rishi Sunak should bear this in mind when considering the unsolicited advice he has received from the president over the last week. Now, this is where we need our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, to be strong. We need him for the first time to not be this wet lettuce that just goes with the globalist narrative, just generally just blindfolded and then without questioning everything. You are now Prime Minister, whether we like it or not, you have to stand up for Britain. And he's saying he's trying his best. That's the line from Downing Street. But it would have been nice if he had stood up against Joe Biden and actually defended Britain. Go full-on drama like Hugh Grant in Love Actually when he stood up to the American president. Do it. We need to defend Britain. This is your job, literally your job. We're paying your salary to do it. But we have to wait to see what the strategy is, the long-term strategy from the Foreign Office as usual. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi and we are the media.